Hey guys, so I'm going to do a review of the 2005 Japanese drama Hana Yori Dango, which is of course based on the popular manga Hana Yori Dango. Now when I first got into watching Asian dramas or Asian TV shows, the first thing I did was watch every country's adaptation of Hana Yori Dango because I love it. I just love the manga. And so yeah, Hana Yori Dango, first Japanese drama I watched. 2005. It's only, like most Japanese dramas, it's short. It only has 9 episodes. It does have a second season and a movie, but I'm just going to talk about the first season today. And in case you're not familiar with the story, Hana Yori Dango basically follows a high school girl named Mikino Sakushi, who attends a really prestigious, rich high school where all the students except her are like super rich from powerful families, etc. They don't like her, she doesn't like them, she's just trying to get through school because her parents are working really hard and put every cent they make into being able to send her there. They want her to land a rich husband, she just wants to get a good education. There are in particular 4 guys at the school who she doesn't like, and they're the F4. They basically run the school. They're extremely handsome, extremely rich, and extremely mean and cruel and complete douchebags. And they just get bored and they pick different students to bully or they even get the whole school to sometimes bully students or harass students just because they can. And she just ignores them. She doesn't like what's going on, but she doesn't want to get involved. But then one day she does make a friend at the school, and that friend does something to anger the leader of the F4, who is Domyo Jisukasa. So Mikino finally stands up to him because she's actually made a friend and she doesn't want her to be harassed, and she gets a red flag. She becomes a target, the first female target of the F4 and of the whole school. So they basically make her life a living hell. And the rest of the drama just follows her interactions with the F4 and the way she kind of changes them. So the leader, who she hates, falls for her, and she falls for his best friend and also an F4 member, Hanazawa Rui. Now Domyo Jisukasa is played by Matsumoto Jun. Mikino Sakushi is played by Inoue Mao. And this has nothing to do with anything, but I just found this out like today. But Matsumoto and Inoue, they're actually dating in real life, like for 9 years, and nobody knew. Like, it's crazy. The only couples I know are actors that I know of that have dated in these adaptations were Barbie and Vic from the Meteor Garden. Barbie played the Mikino character, and Vic played the Hanazawa Rui character, and they dated for 5 years. But yeah, I just thought that was really cute. Has nothing to do with anything. I just thought that was surprising. But anyway, and Oguri Shun played Hanazawa Rui. Abe Tsuyoshi played Akira, and Matsudo Shota played Sojira. So all, like, this kind of launched the career because these are all super popular Japanese actors now. Like, they've done a lot more stuff since then. But I think in almost every country that's had an adaptation, except America, because our versions had to suck, didn't it? Yeah, being in the show kind of made them, skyrocketed their popularity, made them famous. So, yeah. But this is, again, it's a really popular drama version of the manga, and a lot of people, it's their favorite, and I can see why. But just for me, it's not my favorite. My favorite would be Meteor Garden, just because I felt that drama really captured the characters and the storylines and just the essence of the manga for me. But the Japanese version is still a good version, and it's still a worthwhile drama to watch. But the few cons I'll say with it, because it's only 9 episodes, and again, I'm just talking about the season, there's another season and a movie, just because I'm so familiar with the source material, which this happens a lot. I know some of you probably agree, like if there's a book you love or just something like that and then it gets adapted into something, sometimes it's good, but a lot of times it just doesn't, it's not what you pictured in your mind. So it's completely subjective, but sometimes it doesn't turn out how you imagined it, and then you don't like it as much as you would if you weren't familiar with the source material, if that makes sense. But just for me, they just of course, like I said, it's only 9 episodes, it's short. They just like left out a lot of storylines. They left out some characters. They combined a lot of storylines, which some didn't quite make sense to me. And that just, I don't know, because like I said, they're not going to be able to put everything from the manga in. That would be crazy. It would be like a 50-hour, like, or even longer drama if they did that. But just, I don't know, just some things that I liked that I wish had been in there that I saw in other versions. Just kind of, I don't know, just took away from some of my enjoyment. And also the F4. The F4 is such an important part of what makes Hana Yori Dango, to me, like, more unique. Because in shoujo manga, you know, there's a billion, like, oh, the girl's poor and stubborn, and there's a rich guy, and he's a jerk, and they fight, and they fall in love kind of things. But the F4 is what made Hana Yori Dango different. Like, their relationship with Mikino, and how she changed them, and just all that. And all the other versions, well, not all of them, most of them, you really get to see the F4. You get to see that relationship and that interaction. But in this one, just like I said, just the first season, you don't get that as much because it's shorter. You don't see that interaction. You don't see the friendship, really. It's just not the focus. And I kind of, again, just missed that because that's something I really appreciated in the manga and the other versions. But that aside, it is still a good adaptation, and it's still a worthwhile drama to watch. Some things it does really well, though, is its 2 main leads, Domyoji Tsukasa and Mikino Sakushi. Like, Matsumoto and Inoue, they really did good at portraying those characters. Like, the only thing I will say about the portrayal of Mikino here, is that she didn't get angry. Like, in the manga and other versions, she gets angry a lot. And in this one, she doesn't quite get angry so much as she gets confused, or looks confused. But still, this is probably one of my favorite Mikino versions. It was just a really good, solid performance. And of course, Matsumoto was really great as Domyoji, which is, you know, why he's so popular now, but really great performance. And again, there's just so many great Japanese actors in here. That was before they got really famous, and it's always fun to go back and look at where they started. But overall, for me, I give this a 7.5, almost an 8, not quite, just because there's some things that, again, purely subjective, that I just missed in this version. But it's still a great drama. It's still worth watching, especially if you like Hana Yori Dango, or if you're looking to get into dramas, because it's an easy one to watch. And also a thing with Japanese dramas, as compared to Korean or Taiwanese, is that they're actually funny. Like, Korean dramas can be funny or have funny parts, but they always seem to get bogged down at some point by drama. Or, like, it's just not evenly funny, or there's no, like, even comedy. It's like, okay, it's funny, and then 1 minute next you're, like, sobbing hysterically. But in Japanese dramas, although there's that sometimes, Japanese dramas I find actually can be funny. Taiwanese dramas, they can be sometimes, but they kind of overuse sound effects for comedic, you know, uses, and I don't know, I don't like sound effects. Like, I hate that about American TV shows even. I do not like sound effects. But Japanese dramas are actually funny, and I like the slapstick they use. Yeah, I mean, probably out of all the countries, Japanese do make the best, like, comedy dramas. And this one does have its funny moments, and that's what I appreciated. Because in Boys Over Flowers, let's be real, it was hilarious, but not always intentional. Actually, most of the time it wasn't intentional. But still hilarious, but not intentional. So yeah, it was a good drama. I gave it a 7.5. It was funny. The character portrayals were really good. Yeah, and I would definitely recommend watching it. So if you have any other dramas or movies that you would like me to watch or review, just let me know. Thanks for watching.